Welcome to a video on the basics of cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency has been a buzzword for quite a while now, right? And considering the potential it carries, we need to have a broader understanding of what cryptocurrency is. So let's start with the basics. The origin of this goes to a man called Satoshi Nakamoto, right, who created the first cryptocurrency in the world, and who came up with the idea, propagated it, and started it all together, right? So let's understand what cryptocurrency actually is. The word comes is from two parts, crypto and currency, right? Crypto here means that it is based on encryptions, right? On complex computer science calculations of sorts. Currency here means that it is basically a digital currency of sorts. It is paperless, it is only digital, right? Meant to be done online over the internet, right? So, encryptions here basically are cryptography, which are again a computer science subject. Another feature of cryptocurrency is that it is decentralized. When I say it is decentralized, let's look at, say, the RBI, right? The Reserve Bank of India, which regulates all currency or legal tenders in India and basically gives us a guideline of what to consider legal currency and what to not, right? This ensures that there is stability in the financial and the legal system of the country. Now, when cryptocurrency I say is decentralized, it is based on a thing called blockchains, right? As is the name, it is nothing but connected pieces of blocks, and these blocks are basically individual users, right? Normally, if you transact over a legal currency, say you are transacting with a 5 rupees coin, what happens is that if you notice on the coin, it is written that there's some involvement of the RBI. So it is backed by the RBI, right? So there is a third party involved between except for the two parties which are transacting, which is the RBI, which is the central sovereign authority, right? So decentralized in crypto means that there is no sovereign authority regulating these transfers. It is extremely individualistic and ensures privacy, right? So in crypto, imagine this is user one, this is user two, and user when one gives something to user two, and user two pays back in Bitcoin, right? And this is absolutely only in between the parties. It is deeply encrypted, and a transfer of Bitcoin takes place, right? And there's no centralized body regulating the transfer, right? And that is why we come to a concept called as fiat currency. Fiat currency is nothing but a currency backed by a central authority, or it could be the government, it could be the central bank, right? Government slash bank, which are both basically the same thing here in India. Other currencies which are not fiat currencies could be something which is backed by gold, right? But fiat currency is something which is backed by a central authority. Crypto lacks this. It is not a fiat currency. It is not backed by any government, right? And therefore comes the problem with it of regulation. The government wants everything, every transaction happening under its jurisdiction to be known to it, right? The nature of it being known to it. And with crypto, there's a lot of clouds of shadows, clouds of doubts in every party's mind, right? And it is when I say it is based on blockchains, which is all individual users transferring Bitcoin with each other. And this blockchain comes out of the crypto is created by a thing called mining. And mining here is not meant in a physical sense. It is in the sense that you have to create these encryptions. And when we learned that these encryptions are based on cryptography, cryptography as a computer science technique is used to mine bitcoins, to create new bitcoins, bitcoins which are tenders for exchange and then transact it. That's how it basically works, right? So I hope it is clear. A few examples of Bitcoin of cryptocurrency could be Bitcoin, your Litecoin, Ethereum, all of that. There are certain exchanges also, right, which work FTX and that sort of a thing, wherein you can exchange Bitcoin, one Bitcoin for another. For example, if you can trade in your Bitcoin, you can trade in one Bitcoin for say three Ethereums. So ऐसे ये काम करता है based on the market value of the thing, right? And let's now come to the important part, which is the regulation of crypto in India. To summarize it, I would say that crypto in India is in a state of flux. Flux means it is constantly changing, right? There is no solidified regulatory mechanism for cryptocurrency in India yet, but there is hope that sometime in the near future, there will be a comprehensive law governing cryptocurrencies and crypto assets, right? So, let's look into the jurisprudence of this, how it has evolved. Firstly, though, when crypto started, RBI had warned against it, right? Had warned against it, stating that it is not legal tender, stressing upon the fact that it is not legal tender, right? Then in 2018, the Supreme Court struck down an RBI circular, right? This circular basically banned crypto altogether. So till now, till 2018, and for quite a few while afterwards, the attitude of the government was to ban it, of the attitude of the central bank was to ban it, considering the volatility and the unpredictability of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, right? But considering ki its use never went down, in 2022 budget, the central government simply introduced a 30% tax on any transaction happening over cryptocurrency, right? This 30% tax, it was quite controversial and very widely debated in the sense that it is extremely high considering any transaction. So that is the current trajectory in which we are moving. First, you tax it, try to reduce its usage, and then you come up with a comprehensive regulatory framework, right? Later on, in 2022 and 2023, the RBI came up with its own digital currency, which is called central bank digital currency. Now, the central bank digital currency is an attempt by the RBI to create a currency which is digital in nature and rivals the use of cryptocurrency. But the primary difference here is that this is backed by the RBI, right? So this could become now a fiat currency, right? Backed by the government. And it is called digital rupee, the thing which will be transacted. For example, crypto में one thing could be Bitcoin, यहाँ पे CBDC में one thing could be digital rupee. This is the initial starting point for us, right? And abhi there are a lot of regulations to come into it, so this will keep changing. So please keep a track on central bank digital currency, a very important buzzword considering exams and your day-to-day life, right? Also, another interesting thing that happened in other parts of the world is that in countries like El Salvador, it was made legal tender. So only in two countries is Bitcoin a legal tender. Is legal tender. BTC is Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency is legal tender is basically El Salvador and Central African Republic. Some countries have recognized its usage, but have not made it legal tender, such as India, right? We have recognized the use of cryptocurrency as a very dominant mode of payment today, but we've not made it legal tender. We simply impose the 30% tax on any transaction, right? So implicitly we are allowing it, but not explicitly. Another thing that could come into news is the European Parliament's uh, comprehensive framework on this particular cryptocurrencies, right? Law on crypto. This basically is called MICA, Market in Crypto Assets, right? What it aims to achieve is, and India could base its law on crypto on this particular law, MICA. It basically uniform legal system हो, right? Regarding crypto, there'll be traceability of transactions. अभी normally crypto में क्या होता है कि it ensures a complete privacy, that users are completely sure that their transactions are not being tracked by anyone, they are not being regulated by anyone. But in the EU law, there is an element of traceability to it, and it will be traced in the same way as any traditional money transfer takes place, right? And there will be enhanced user protection against the volatility because there are a lot of scams happening, right? You might buy Bitcoin, you might buy a cryptocurrency based on the fact that it looked promising to you on a Bitcoin exchange, but turns out that it's actually a fraud, it is actually a scam. So to ensure that people don't lose out on money, lose out their money on such scams, the central regulation needs to be there in a very watertight manner, right? So this is the summary of the EU law that deals with cryptocurrency. And this will be a debatable topic. This will be discussed in the future. And the future looks like crypto will be allowed, but there'll obviously need to be some very strong regulation from the government in the sense that individual freedom should also be allowed and the government control should also be there to an extent. So the BJP government's tagline of minimum government, maximum governance could be applied perfectly in a scenario like cryptocurrency, wherein the debate is always between individual freedoms and state regulation. So that is all for cryptocurrency. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.